ionized particles. It's basically the same thing as plasma, I guess, to my knowledge. So I might be completely skewing that. The scatter shot, which I have now, was created for boarding maneuvers against flood-infested ships, as well as defense during foreigner evacuations. It was obviously designed for confined quarters, given its shotgun-like nature and ability to bounce off objects. It fires ionized particles, which actually act as a jacket for the true payload of the weapon, which is antimatter. When the bullets hit a target, the antimatter is released, and this is what causes them to disintegrate. Same goes for the incineration cannon and the binary rifle. Jeez.
Look at this.
The incineration cannon was designed to destroy early forming spore mountains, flood spore mountains, and also to kill and combat grave mines. I can imagine that they were used to destroy spore mountains. We don't know if they were ever used to kill, if the incineration cannon was ever used to kill a grave mine. The binary rifle is actually an extremely ancient foreigner design that's been with their civilization for as long as we know, like since projectile weaponry, basically.
I'll keep trying to warn them. You just get that beam down.
But its latest iteration, which is the one we have in the game, was specifically designed to fight the flood. And then the pulse grenade.
It's working. The signal from the relay is starting to clear.
Pulse grenade creates an ionization sphere, which then collapses in on itself. It was designed. This was meant to clear out tightly packed flood-infested zones and to cauterize flood growth.
We've got to disable that other beam before they're pulled in like we were.
Here you see the Covenant arriving.
I was wondering
through some
why
space.
we hadn't encountered the Covenant yet.
The glowing you see on the ships.
They're heading to the second pylon as well.
Obviously, this is not something we've seen in any other games. That's because the other games beforehand weren't exactly accurate.
Like the Prometheans don't want the Covenant here either. The BattleNet's already lighting up with reports of resistance all around the pylon.
The reason why they glow is because that's actually their energy shields. Slipspace in itself is incredibly irradiated, like ridiculously so. Human ships obviously don't have, or the majority of them now don't have energy shields. But humanity got past this by lining the inside of their ships with lead foil to absorb and deflect. Oh geez, that's unfortunate. To absorb and deflect the radiation coming from slipspace. The Covenant and Foreigners did not use this. They utilized energy shields, turned on to full power. That's why when the ships exited slipspace, they were a solid white color. Because the energy shield was so strong, you can't even see through it. Then the ship flashes because it turns off. Damn battle wagon. So there's 3 types of Promethean knights. You just have the standard knights, the lancers, and then the commanders, and then the battle wagons. The standard knights are just really basic you know, run-of-the-mill knights, I guess. The Lancer sort of serves as a scout recon role. With its ability to phase, to sort of have a phase run, so as it phases in and out of subspace. You can clearly see it was very well outfitted for a recon and scout role. It's also why the Lancers are outfitted with standard weaponry. The battle wagons, they have that sort of ridiculous name because they're basically siege weapons. Single-handedly, battle wagons can lay siege to an entire fortified area. The UNSC encountered this on Requiem. They're the most unpredictable and dangerous of the knights, arguably. Well, yeah, dangerous, I guess. The commanders, they obviously serve a command role. They're outfitted with incineration cannons usually, at least in the gameplay. None of the knights are really more skilled than each other. They serve these roles purely out of necessity, especially the command roles. Jeez. Oh, earlier I was, as I've mentioned quite a few times now, I've been talking about the coloration of Forerunner objects, structures, and devices and such. Another thing that's changed is the color of Covenant architecture and technology and items and vehicles and whatnot. It's now, you now see it as a dark blue and, you know, with green lighting. This is not because of any functionality reasons, it's actually purely aesthetic of the commander or person who commissioned the equipment for their fleet or for another fleet or whatever. Ow. Jeez. Is that ghost? There you are. Let's get out here.
Power core down. Shield's weak, but still online. Take out the other two power cores and we can access the pylon.
Let's see. We're obviously, as I mentioned earlier, and as Cortana mentioned earlier, we're in the center of Requiem right now. Anyone who plays the game might assume that there's only 3 layers to Requiem. Oh, Jesus. Oh, survived. The outer shell, which is the metallic shell you see. And the... sort of the terrestrial level, which is... the terrestrial shell, which is the, you know, the sort of... natural terrain type area. It's immediately beneath the shell, and then the core. That's not all the shells. Requiem is made up of dozens of shells, and we only really see 3 of them. Usually we see Forerunner technology in combination with natural objects, you know, rock, dirt, rivers, water, all that type of stuff. But there were actually levels, or there were shells on Requiem that were entirely artificial in nature. They were just purely just Forerunner metal and hard light. Some shells were also under construction still. Whether they were being reorganized, rearranged, or still, you know, being completed, it's up for interpretation. There we go. Still one more.
UNSC Infinity Survivor Forward under Dawn. Reading a faint ISS tag near the planetary core. Do you read?
And its core. They know we're here. Infinity, this is UNSC AI Cortana. Do not approach Forerunner planet. Repeat, do not approach.
UNSC asset. Forward unto Dawn. We read you, but you're breaking up. Help. Increase speed by 0.7. Get us in there.
Negative, Infinity. Do not enter the planet.
If you can hear us, keep transmitting.
No, Chief, you've got to get that beam down now.
I think it's particularly interesting that many people find Forerunner buildings and architecture in the games to be beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. Obviously, because it's a video game, they were designed to be like that.
Do you copy?
But in the story,
Come in, Infinity.
everything we see is actually utilitarian in nature, and the Foreigners actually consider this stuff sort of brute, blunt, and ugly.
Already done. Go.
Really the only part, this is really the only level where we don't see that it's all entirely utilitarian. We actually see aesthetic stuff right here. Like you see the Eld being repeated into infinity. Which, you know, it's pretty standard to see the Eld associated with Foreigner stuff, but the frequency at which it is, and you can sort of imagine, obviously, that the warrior servants and the Didact specifically was
You just find us that control.
incredibly devoted to the mantle. There's specifically one Eld. Oh well. Oh wait. Where is it? Oh, whatever. The Janus key from Spartan Ops is actually a part of the Eld. When I was showing you guys the infinite Elds there, I noticed one of them that had an extended part of it to look like the Janus key.
Is that the signal relay?
Yes. Now we just have to hope we can use it to warn Infinity before it's too late.
I'll take this door, actually. Huh. If you guys didn't know, this is sort of gameplay oriented actually. The door I went through here, the Covenant actually wins against the fights with the Prometheans, and then on the left door it's the Prometheans that win against the Covenant. Come on. There we go. Oh, phantom wreckage, fun. Let's see if I can get up here before the Phantom decides to stick around. Actually, yeah. What left? Good. Good. Back when Halo 4 came out, I saw an interesting diagram that sort of explained the different gravity planes of the center of Requiem. There's three like planes that we go on